Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to another WB Mason Coaches Report with Seth Tierney, the head coach of Hofstra Men's Lacrosse. Good morning, Coach. How are you today?
Good morning, Nick. Doing well, thanks.
Good to hear. Good to hear. The team started off CAA play last Saturday on the road at Fairfield. Unfortunately, with a 12-10 loss to the Stags. You've had some time to look at the film and think about Saturday's performance. What can you say about how the team performed against Fairfield?
Yeah, I mean, for 58 minutes, we performed pretty well. I mean, they're obviously a very good team, and CAA play brings out a different animal in everybody. Matt Gates, 18 saves. Chase Patterson went 50% at the faceoff X. We're thinking that with those two stats that we, certainly the faceoff stat we hadn't had, that we were going to have enough to get over the top. But, they did a good job of getting, to 12 goals. And we certainly had some opportunities to do that. And we came up a little short. It's been a frustrating part of it, knowing that I think 4 out of the 7 games that we have not won. We've been ahead in the fourth quarter, and certainly within the last couple of minutes of the game. So, that tells the guys in the locker room, it tells the coaches, listen, we're doing the right things in regards to the game plan to be ahead that late in the game. And now we just got to learn how to finish. That's been a little bit of an issue right now with things that we're facing, but the guys are coming out working hard every day, and on to Delaware now, which is going to be a pretty good challenge, because as they have a very good defenseman in Owen Grant, and a bunch of guys offensively that can sling the ball around and put the ball in the goal with a couple of good wins that they have under their belt.
Yeah, Delaware is definitely going to be a good challenge. They're coming off a loss to UMass to start their CAA play. I kind of want to go back to the Fairfield game really quick. You talk about Matt Gates, another career performance from him in that. Chase Patterson, 50% at the draw, 8 ground balls. I kind of want to talk about Gerard Kane and Sam Lutfi. They both had a hat trick and an assist for 4 points. With Sam coming back from injury against Providence, and Gerard in really his first season of college lacrosse. What have you seen from those guys in practice, in preparation for Hofstra?
Yes, Sam suffered a shoulder injury earlier in the year, and he had missed, almost the entire bulk of the year, with the hopes of getting him back right around this time. The Providence game was his first game back, and as much as you do in practice, it's a little different when you put the game jersey on and a referee blows the whistle versus myself or one of the coaches blowing the whistle. So he got knocked around a little bit in the Providence game, but he's done a great job of trying to get himself stronger and healing. And it was good to see him come around and get a little better feel for what he's doing. Gerard, again, put the ball in the goal for us a little bit, had a nice assist to, I think, Justin Sykes, and is coming around and doing some things. Yes, you're right. Gerard Kane, he's a freshman with us. Again, it's been a while. He had a stint at another school, where he didn't play. So he's a freshman. Rory Jones is a freshman, and Sam is he was a starting attackman for us in the first 2 games. And then that's when he got hurt. So we are, just getting him back at it. And then without Colton Rudd there, we're just playing a little bit shorthanded in the depth of that position. But, certainly Jones, Kane, and Sam were some bright spots. We need for Justin Sykes and Ryan Sheridan and Sterling Audrey, who's still coming back a little bit from a concussion in the Navy game, to get his feet back underneath him. And if we can do it with those guys, then things will be a little different. And again, we feel like we let one get away, and it's part of this learning process with this season. And again, we're just game planning now for the Hens, and see what happens.
Yeah. Especially when Sam, I think it was the Merrimack game that he suffered his shoulder injury. He was off to such a great start, with Dylan McIntosh on there being the most experienced guy. It's a very young attack group for Hofstra. So.
Yeah, without a couple of those older guys, Colton Rudd has had some experience, but he's been out. James Philbin, is our, probably a midfielder with the most experience. He's been out. And then, we just got Sterling back and a couple other guys. So it's been a little bit of musical chairs. It's been some frustrating moments, but I got to take my hat off to the kids and the guys downstairs and the staff. Everybody is focused. Next challenge, next mission, and let's get at it and let's see where we can find a way to win.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of gave a preview about Delaware. They've got a really strong defense. They've got guys who can sling it around in the offense. Talk a little bit. It's kind of been a bit of a rivalry developing, between Delaware and Hofstra. They've been, I think, in the last three they've been together for the last three conferences. The ECC, the America East, and now in the CAA. And you've been around this team for 16 years. You've been in the sport of lacrosse for God knows how long.
Ever.
What can you say about this rivalry between Delaware and Hofstra? If it's not a rivalry, just the competition between the two teams.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I think it's literally throughout the CAA. When I speak to another CAA coach on whatever business it may be or anything along those lines, you watch these games on the computer, to see how the Delaware UMass game played out, so you can start to scout. There's rivalries all within it because there's just a lot of the same. The scores are pretty tight. Last year we played Delaware twice and came up a goal short the first time, and it was a goal ahead the second time, right? In the semifinals of the CAA tournament to get to the final game. And listen, they've got some great players. A guy that I coached at Johns Hopkins is their offensive coordinator, and Matt Rakowski. Ben DeLuca was on the USA staff, and I've got an unbelievable amount of respect for him. Owen Grant, the defenseman, is one heck of a player. Robinson and guys on the offense that can sling it. Yeah, they lost a guy like Charlie Kitchen, but they've replaced him with other players. Maybe not at the level that Charlie was playing at, but they know who they are. They do a great job of getting the hands free of the guys they want taking shots. They're pretty aggressive in the middle of the field, and it's going to be a challenge for us. There's no getting around it. But the Hofstra Delaware game, just as of the last recent couple of years, but certainly leading back to when I was an assistant, here at Hofstra, and John Grant Jr. was there. Every time Hofstra and Delaware, it's like a fight for the blue and gold. They got our colors. They say we got their colors, and it's always a good battle.
Yeah, it's there's so much history, individual history. You talk about John Grant Jr. Hofstra's littered with individual talent, and to see that throughout the years and then develop into this rivalry that spans multiple conferences too. It's really, really exciting to see. And you speak about the rivalries of the CAA. We got Monmouth, we got Stony Brook, that team out east, and then we got Hampton coming in next year. I think that's only going to add to the specialness of the CAA rivalries.
No question. We welcome those three teams in. Obviously, we've got the rivalry because of the Long Island thing with Stony Brook. Monmouth. They're very well coached with Coach Fisher, and Hampton. It's a program that Chaz Woodson is now at the helm. I've had some conversations with Chaz, and he's going to do a great job there, right? He's building it brick by brick, and there's going to be some good things that come out of there. And who knows where the CAA ends up, if there's anybody else that ends up joining, maybe not for this year, but in the future, not just for men's lacrosse, but for all the sports, and to continue to make it a great conference.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to those three schools joining the fray in 2023.
No question.
And whatever, if there is any further expansion. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how that shakes up the conference.
Absolutely.
So it'll be this Saturday, April 9th at noon. Hofstra is going to be heading down to Delaware. The game will be able to be streamed live on Flow Live. Follow everything you can on Hofstra Men's Lacrosse at gohofstra.com. For head coach Seth Tierney, I am Nick Capitos, and thank you for joining us for the WB Mason Coaches Report.